from the post-millennial, Texas AG Ken Paxton to ask judge to vacate seats of Dem lawmakers who fled state over redistricting vote. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton will seek judicial orders to remove Texas state legislators who have fled the state in an attempt to block a congressional redistricting vote taking place in the state legislature. The lawmakers have until August 8th to return to the state and to perform their duties in the legislature before Paxton requests the order. Attorney General Ken Paxton has announced that the continued refusal to perform legislative duties by Texas House Democrats who broke quorum constitutes abandonment of office and that he will pursue a court ruling ensuring that their seats are declared vacant. Speaker of the House Dustin Burrows has given members until Friday, August 8th, to return to Texas and present themselves before the House. Any lawmaker who has not been arrested and returned or fails to appear by the Speaker's deadline will be subject to aggressive legal action by Attorney General Paxton, a news release from Paxton's office says. So I learned that apparently this is actually felonious. So these are felony. They could face felony charges for vacating and preventing the continuation of official business.
Is that true? I read that there was just a fine. It's a felony?
Is it a fine? So they could end up in jail with some teens.
Hopefully not.
I don't suspect that's what's going to happen, but I think the crux of the issue here is whether or not gerrymandering is kosher. Dave, gerrymandering, cool or not?
It's the norm since the fourth president of the United States.
I'm going to say that they should. Yeah, I think they should have to come back and face it.
Yeah, I mean they should have to come back and actually do their jobs.
I agree.
The question as to whether or not gerrymandering is acceptable. This is just the state of affairs today, and it's been that way since James Madison.
Right.
His vice president was Vice President Jerry,
Sure,
and the name gerrymandering comes from that. So whether or not it's okay, I don't know. I think that's kind of...
It doesn't even matter.
No, it does matter, and I'll tell you why. It's because not all of the states are fully gerrymandered, and Democrats have actually put different guardrails in place to not allow them to gerrymander certain states. So Tate, I know you're from New York, but you might not know much about the politics there. But in New York, right, the Democrats did want to gerrymander, but their maps got tossed out by the courts there because they had certain laws that didn't allow them to gerrymander to the nth degree. Eventually, gerrymandering is bad for our country. The big brain solution here is obviously having somebody non-biased and impartial on top, kind of ruling top down, trying to make as many fair districts and rub the least amount of people the wrong way. But I don't know if we just see this, both sides are just going to try to gerrymander their districts more and more aggressively. Both sides are obviously guilty of this. So I don't know really where that's going to leave us. The Democrats here are just trying their best to prevent it. If this is a Band-Aid solution for them, these Texas Democrats aren't going to be able to achieve actually preventing the Republicans from gerrymandering Texas. It's only a matter of time. So
right.
Well, even with these commissions like you're talking about, are like in California, they can just special election around it if they really want to. Yep. So it's like, okay, it's nice that it's put into place, but if push really came to shove, New York, California, they'll just circumvent it.
And honestly,
special election.
If you were to say, okay, gerrymandering is illegal, what's the solution? How do you break up the districts then?
There are different people with different theories on how to do this without having squiggly lines that go in circles. Yeah. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's the political will to do so, which neither side is going to see. And it's escalating, right? One side's doing it, then the other side's going to want to do it more, and then they're going to both point fingers at one another.
Part of the reason that the Democrats are having such a problem with this is because the Democrats have kind of squeezed all the juice, right? There's not a whole lot more they can do.
There's juice
there
in New York.
Multiple.
Yes, there is, yeah.
How many
juice? A ton.
How many?
Second largest Jews population.
We're not talking about Jews. We're talking about Jews.
Outside of Israel. Oh.
We're talking about they've gotten all of made all of the gerrymandering they can do. They're not going to get.
I thought they squeeze.
There's a lot of Jews there, though.
Yeah,
there are a lot
and there's nothing wrong with that.
Squeezing more.
No, yeah, I love Jews.
So some state like Massachusetts.
No.
There's
Jewish.
Something like 40% of the state is conservative, and there's zero representatives. There's zero representation for the conservatives, and that's the situation in the same situation in Illinois. There's 40% of the state is Republican, and there's no representation at all.
It's 14-3, and it's a 6-point spread in Illinois.
But if you have each state that's
insane.
blue or red taking legal action on each one, wouldn't that just affect the other state to want to do it more?
But that
I mean, that's
Escalation.
I think
that's
that's,
the-
the problem.
happening.
that was the point that I was making.
Yeah.
The reason that the Democrats have a problem is because there's not much more they can do.
Right.
They don't have the ability to actually gerrymander and get more representation out of most states. There's nothing left they can do. They've really maximized the gerrymandering that's possible. So the reason that they have such a problem with this is because they don't have the ability to just fight back and say, well, gerrymander and et cetera. There's talk of it in New York. There's talk of it in California, but there isn't a lot that's actually possible for them to do. They can do a little bit around the edges, but they're not going to get the same kind of effects that the Republicans could get because the Democrats have been so successful at gerrymandering nationwide. So it's like, sure, there are places where they can get some, but the Republicans actually stand to benefit the most by doing things like redistricting halfway through the time limit they normally do it, because it's normally done after every census, so it's normally done after every 10 years. This is halfway through. There is an argument, we had a guest on last night that was talking about this, there is an argument that it's a good thing to do because of all the demographic changes, because of all of the illegal immigrants that have come in, but also because of all the people that have moved from California to other states, to Texas, to Florida and stuff. So Texas is doing it. A big part of the reason is because of the illegal immigration and because of the influx.
Texas?
Yes, it's been known to happen.
Really?
Shocker, right?
I live there. I've not seen it, but go on.
Okay. But yeah, so that's the argument that they're making is, this is why it's a legitimate
Sure. No, I get
effort.
that.
So,
And the way they gerrymandered the new seats in Texas was such that all of the districts were now roughly Trump 60, a district where Trump won 60% of the vote. So like the Congress people would usually disagree with gerrymandering because they don't want their districts fudged with where they run and they don't want to be diluted, but that's how they kind of appeased the Texas Republicans. I suspect Democrats will do something, call me a genius, I don't know, but I suspect Democrats down the line will try to do something similar to this that Republicans may not like, but this is power politics. And, I think we're seeing more quote unquote norms being broken. Trump's a big norm breaker. There are other political power plays that people could do, like packing the Supreme Court. Trump doesn't need to. The Democrats had a few other plays like this. Gerrymandering is another example, but we're going to see more norms being broken. Where that takes us, we'll see.
I mean, I agree with you. I think that
Yeah, I think there's not a lot of room for Dems to go legally, but that's the problem, is how hard we want them to push back eventually. I don't know. That's a very good. They're
going to say, "Oh, Trump changed the districts ahead of the census," and that's how he's doing this to defend his majority too. He doesn't want to be in the minority for the second half of his presidential term. He would definitely be impeached because of who gives a crap, something, and then all the investigations he's doing now would get investigated. So, that would be his biggest nightmare. So he's really trying to just guarantee this majority. Trump's been, it seems, insecure about his majority almost the entire time he was president.
Especially recently.
There was Elise Stefanik, who he initially wanted to elevate to UN ambassador, but he was like, no, stay in your seat.
Yeah.
He wanted Mike Lawler to stay in his seat and not try to run for governor. So there's a few examples of this. I think there's a very slim majority. I think it's 2 or 3 seats, something like that. So something to keep your eye on because Trump is clearly worried about this as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's legitimate because like you said, if the Democrats take the House, there will be impeachment. There will be,
of course,
nothing's going to happen. It'll be just doing everything they can to stymie any kind of progress for the American people.
Well, and I think that's the benefit, not even to go back to the Epstein thing, but of doing that stuff, because there has to be something that switches that, because that's kind of their ticket into an impeachment.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm a naked partisan, so like anything that they can do to throw sand in the gears of whatever the Democrats are going to try, I'm for.
Sure.
Because if they don't, then the Democrats are going to do whatever they can to throw not only impeach Donald Trump, even though I don't imagine that he'll get removed from office, because I don't think they'll take the Senate, but they would try to take him out of office. And then should they get the presidency again, I imagine all of the bureaucracies will get filled up with Democrat sycophants again, and they'll come after people in the right wing podcast sphere. They'll go after people like Joe Rogan. They'll go after people like Tim Pool. They'll go after people that have Benny Johnson and anyone that they consider a political enemy. They will absolutely target and go after, because that was the plan when Kamala Harris would have won. So.
Well, just like before, it's why they're saying
exactly.
that Stephen Colbert is the enemy, or like supposedly people are the enemy of him, when that's really not the truth.
No, Stephen Colbert's his viewership is why he lost his job.
And his viewership was a result of, I think, CBS pushing him to do something. I mean, it is his own. I mean, you have to, blame somebody for what it is. But CBS, I do also blame, because they're the ones that pushed all that crap on him. Mm-hmm. And then they're the ones that are going like, oh, your numbers are down. It's like, well, you kind of forced it.
Yeah, I mean,
your whole company did this, but they all did that woke stuff.
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong. But again, just like you said at the end, it was not just Colbert. It was all of them. And
it's
also
like Disney blaming the Snow White girl for being Latina. Like, why are you Latina? Because you did it.
Yeah.
It's you guys that did it, not her.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.